Hello friends, thanks for joining me today. Before we get started, I want to let you know that the paints that I'll be using in today's demo are from Jato and Fra, which is a company that I started back in 2020. I use 100% natural resources and they are handcrafted by me. Each color in the Jato and Fra line has been selected to reflect the earthiness and elegance displayed in the old masters' paintings. And so I hope that you'll enjoy today's demo, and if you're interested in purchasing a palette, please go to the website. Around 1891, the French post-impressionist artist Paul Gauguin sailed to French Polynesia to escape the modern civilization. He was disillusioned with just the modern society there in Paris. And as a record of his travels, he ended up writing a book called Noah Noah, describing his experiences and the culture in Tahiti. And so this is one of the illustrations that was in that book, published in 1901 in Paris. It's a relatively very simple but charming sketch, and so I hope that you'll paint along with me, and I hope that you'll enjoy it. So as you can see, I'm just following the original sketch here. Just simple pencil lines. It's nothing very detailed, which is one of the reasons why I decided to do this as a demonstration, because anyone at any level can do this. And so that's why I also have the picture up, so in case you want to follow along. They're just very simple lines. Even the people, you can tell they're just very simple pencil marks. We're not really concerned about a lot of detail. So I'm just drawing looks like it's a hut in the far distance, and then there's also a mountain coming down in the distance. I'm just rounding off the tree there. So that's what our sketch looks like before we get started. So now I have a wash of ultramarine. It's a very light wash first. I'm just going to go around and do the sky. And then I let it dry for a little bit, and then I went back with a darker tint of the same color. Any blue that you have will work. So now while the paint is still wet, I'm using a damp brush to soak up some of the color to give it an illusion of some light clouds in the back, just floating in the distance. So now I'm going to use ultramarine blue and red iron oxide, and that's going to create a purple. If you reference Paul Gauguin's sketch, the mountain that he painted, or the hillside, whichever it is, he did it in a purplish color. So again, I'm not replicating the sketch. I'm not doing a master copy. This is just a study and an exercise for us to do. So I'm just filling that in. Next, I'm going to use ultramarine blue and raw sienna. That's given us a very earthy green tone. So if you don't have exactly just one color green, you can always mix it with a blue and a raw sienna or a yellow ochre. With a darker shade of purple, I am doing what looks like some kind of hedge that he has in the back. He did it in a purplish tone, a dark purplish tone. And I went ahead and added another layer of that dark purple over that mountain or that hillside to bring it out just a little bit more. And as you can already see, this is a very simple painting that anyone can do. You can add or take away elements from this. But it's very interesting to see such great painters like Paul Gauguin to do such simple sketches, such simple paintings. Now here I'm taking a damp brush and I'm just lifting some of that purple off that hedge to give it a highlight as shown in the original painting. Next I'm going to use ultramarine blue and raw sienna again. We're going to do the tree. Now my first layer was a little bit more on the bluish side. I didn't have much raw sienna in there, which I wasn't worried about. Watercolor is very forgiving. So then I'm adding a little bit more raw sienna. You can see the greenish tint starting to appear. And as I finish off the tree, I'm going to add much more raw sienna. And I'm going to let all that mix together and make a lovely earthy green color. And I'm just going to let all that blend together. That's one of the beautiful things about watercolor. Things blend so beautifully. So now we're going to do this hut in the background. It's just a very light wash of raw sienna or yellow ochre or whatever color you have that's in the yellow family. Now for the ground, we're going to use a light wash of raw sienna or any kind of orangish yellow that you might have. It really doesn't make any difference. If you're following along, you make the painting your own. We're not doing a Gauguin copy. We're just using his illustration as a source for inspiration and for exercising. So I'm putting that first wash down. It's very light, as you can tell. And then I went in a little bit stronger, so it would that color would come out a little bit more. And then with a little bit of water on the brush, I'm just moving that color around so it kind of fades out. Now for the hut, I'm going to use raw sienna, some ultramarine blue, and iron oxide red. And then also what I didn't point out was also a little bit of that umber, that darkish brown. So we're gonna lightly put a light wash of that raw sienna on the top of the hut, that straw hut. And it's okay if the water is gathering at the bottom. I'm not worried about any of that. I went in and put in some of that umber, that dark brown. And the main thing when you're doing watercolor or any type of art is to just enjoy the process, enjoy exploring. You'll always find something new if you play with the colors, if you play with different techniques. there are rules to art, but there's not rules at the same time. So you're your own master when you're at the painting easel at your drawing table. So I've gone and gotten the raw umber, the brown, to do the bottom part, the wall of the hut. And for me, I don't mind the colors not being solid. I like to have some texture in there, some lights, some darks, even some spaces with no paint in it. It's really all your preference. Now for the back tree, the distant tree, I've started with a purple, which again would be your ultramarine blue and any type of red that you might have. And we're just filling that in. Now with that damp brush, I'm lifting out color to give it some highlight and also a little bit more character, instead of it just being a solid mass of purple tone. Now for the very small face of the figure, I'm just doing raw sienna, and then a little bit of dark brown for the hair on both figures. And then for their clothing, just like what Gauguin has, I just put a light red, almost a pinkish color, to fill in their clothing. He did not put any kind of detail in this illustration, which I really like. I really like the simple things. And then in the original illustration, he might have used pen to do the outline of everything in the drawing or in the painting. But what I've done is I've mixed some ultramarine blue and some brown to give me a dark color, not exactly black, but just dark enough to do the outlines of everything. So I've outlined the hedge, the hut in the distance, the mountain, now this tree. This is a very wonderful little watercolor drawing, a watercolor painting that is, that you could easily do over and over just to get practice. So we're going to outline the figures here. I'm assuming they're females. Again, it's just blue and some brown to give us a dark lining color. And as I do the hut, you'll see that I just do a little bit of details like Gauguin has in the original painting. He just kind of outlines some of the hay and a little bit of the walls. And in the painting, he has some kind of animal in the distance. I'm not sure if it's a cow, a donkey, a horse. I don't know what it really is, but I just tried to just copy it the way he had it, because I really don't know what it is. But anyways, it's there, and we're almost coming close to the finish of our little painting here. And now I'm going to sign it. So thank you so much for watching and for painting along with me. I hope you enjoyed it. And so until next time, God bless you, and we'll see you then. Bye-bye.